Good morning. Welcome to sunny Winnipeg. Sunny right now, anyway. Yeah, yesterday started out kind of nice and it ended up not so nice. But I was able to get out. I did get to go down that McGregor Farm Road that I was talking about. It was pretty rough in places. Yeah, anyway, we won't talk about the motorcycle other than to let you know I've just taken it out of the box and it's sitting on the patio right now, waiting to go. If I want fresh coffee, I gotta either make it or get on the bike and go for it. And you know which is going to be the most fun, right? This is yesterday's coffee. Yeah, I took the coffee that was in the cup, the motorcycle cup way down at the end there, and I poured it into this cup, and that's quite often what I do actually. And I just what I will do is I will top the cup off with fresh stuff that I've made in the kitchen that morning. This morning I didn't make any, so okay, enough about the coffee. 22 degrees and it's muggy outside. Yeah, I think if I'm going to be doing any biking, I better do it this morning. Now, mind you, it might be a good idea anyway, because I checked the radar here, maybe almost an hour ago now. And the weather radar showed that about 200 miles west of here, there is what looks like something forming, and it's moving this way. Hey, that's the way it is here this time of year. It must be very difficult to predict the weather at this time of year, because everything looks fine and then all of a sudden something starts to form and there's no rhyme nor reason to it. I know they have these what do they call it, weather models or something like that they can sort of predict the weather by the way the conditions are right now, and in the past when the conditions were like that, this particular thing happened. But you know, there's an old saying that I heard a long time ago, and at first I didn't understand what they're talking about. But it went something like this: if a butterfly flaps its wings in Alaska, can it cause a hurricane down in Florida? Okay. I'm North American, so that's the way this saying went here in North America. It might be a similar saying where you are, and it might be entirely different locations. But anyway, the idea is that, you know, this cause and effect thing, you know, is it possible? And there's no way you can trace it back, even if you could turn the clock back. But you know, who knows? You know, who knows what causes a storm? You know what it's doing when it's happening, but how did it actually get started? What was the very first little flap of a butterfly's wings that caused the air current to move this way, which caused something else to move the other way? And you know what I'm trying to say here. Maybe what I'm trying to do is get out of having to get at this. What I want to do today, and I think I said this yesterday, is I've tried 3 days now to cut this panel out and I haven't done it. And also I was thinking, how can I carefully take these tongues down so that they will fit loosely into the slot, but still keep the part, you know, within a fraction of a millimeter being in the right place. And I was thinking, you know, maybe if I was to clamp it down in my vise again and then take my file. And then I was thinking of using my Dremel tool with a rotary rasp on it and cut them down that way. But then I was envisioning the rasp catching and getting what I used to call down in my workshop when I was working with the wood lathe, a catch. Will give you a surprise real fast. And so I was. Yeah, just sort of came to the conclusion maybe the Dremel tool is not a good idea. But well, think of something. There aren't that many tongues, and then as far as the holes go, Chris's file fits very nicely into the slots. Well, it did. Okay, yeah, you can work it up and down, and that'll get the paint out of them. That'll make it a little easier too. But like I started to say, there aren't that many. Maybe only a dozen. Now, is that a metric dozen or an imperial dozen? I got a few comments on that. Kilopascals, and I was surprised to learn that one of the viewers who lives in the UK, they don't use kilopascals. They do pound, or he does anyway, pounds per square inch. Yeah, well, a rose by any other name is still a rose, right? Okay, I don't think I'm going to need the manual right now. We will though when it comes to placing the rest of these pieces, if I ever get at it. So what am I going to do here about my coffee? Drink the old stuff or get on the bike and go for the new stuff before the rain comes this afternoon? I don't know. Missy the dog could be by any time, so we'll get ready for that. All right, there we go, Missy. We're ready for you. No big news. No big news. I think the news is that, and it's not news. It's getting pretty old. I'm just seeming to be at a standstill here. Almost. Well, yesterday I don't think I did anything yesterday either productive. And if I keep talking here, I'm not going to get these anything done on these either. So, I guess what I should do is carefully remove all these parts, and yeah, very carefully. I have to be careful how I lay it down, because some of them they have fragile stuff on this side, and then there's something like this sticking out of the other side. So I gotta watch that. Although I don't see anything here at the moment. This one has no tongue and grooves, if you know what I mean. It just fits in this. You can see where it's got the outline. So this one, I don't have to do anything with it except, I guess, paint this part white, because this is actually the inside. So I know that has to be painted white. I don't need to put that back on there anymore. Well, maybe I will when I go to getting the other pieces lined up to make sure it all fits. I think it is a real good idea to get everything fitting now properly, and so that when we lay the deck on, it will fit. That deck is as long as the ship, and that means that little grooves and whatnot that have to line up with stuff on this end, they also have to line up with stuff on the other end. So it's going to be really interesting to see how tight the tolerance is that the trumpeter has made that deck. If it's really tight, it could give a problem. But hey, the other stuff all went together. So and the other 5 ships. Well, there's 4 there and a submarine behind you. So the other 5 models, they all went together basically pretty good. So I'm going to trust the trumpeter got this one designed properly as well. Yeah. Let's just get at it here. Okay, there may not be a Missy the dog this morning. About 10 minutes ago, Missy went out for her constitutional, and she took Lorraine with her instead of Max. So I don't know if Lorraine will stop by with Missy or not. Quite often she definitely won't come in and chat with us, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. Now what I'm thinking of here is, I was thinking about these tongues, and I was talking about taking them down maybe with the rotary Dremel tool with a rotary rasp, and then afterwards I realized, well, really I just want to maybe just get basically the worst of the burrs off of these, and don't worry about taking them down. and it would be actually a lot easier to take Chris's file and enlarge the slot, because the file will go almost all the way down to the bottom of the hull, so I'll be able to get quite a long stroke, and it would be actually a lot easier. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to these tongues aren't actually that bad. They don't need to be these sanding sticks. I've used this same one several times. It's the top one, and I've used it several times, and you just sort of clean it out, and boy, they're going to last forever. They're going to last forever. Yeah. Well, not forever. Nothing lasts forever. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes this sort of thing happens. Well, as long as we're sort of composed here, why don't I just finish where I started here? I keep talking about doing this, and I don't actually do it. It's the kind of thing that's going to be kind of hard to do on camera, because I can't quite get my angle just right. I just thought if I was to go through past the point of this blade over several times, it's going to gouge itself through, and I'll be able to break this out. I could probably use the Tamiya nipper here. Let me get this out of the way carefully, very carefully. Okay. And I might be able to use the nipper right here. Wonder what would happen. Like this. Yeah, I was going to cut this little piece off, but why bother? I mean, it can just stay attached. Oh, I hear a dog. Is Max okay? Oh. 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 Okay, I'll get ready for him. Okay. Just let me push stop here. Good morning. Good morning. We thought we were going to miss you.
Oh, I was holding kitten, but Rainey brought the dog in. Lost control of her back paw. That was a mistake. Ow.
Oh my.
Yeah, small claws. Dig deep.
You need a band-aid or anything?
Nah, I got the bleeding stopped.
Okay, let's just give it just half of one here. All right, there you go. There you go. The routine is different this morning. The routine is different.
And it's supposed to be sunny this afternoon. Humidex of 30, but oh, that's a hard one.
That's
one
a
of
hard
those
one.
hard dogs.
That's going to keep you chewing for a while, Missy.
It's a jawbreaker.
Okay, you're saying about the Humidex?
Yeah, 30 this afternoon, but sunny, you know. So good for motorcycle riding.
Yeah, I there's a chance of rain. I was thinking maybe going this morning to McDonald's in Transcona.
Well, look at the radar. They're coming 30% chance of rain in the morning.
Well, Missy, we're glad to see you. We thought we were going to maybe not get to see you today. Yeah.
I'm glad you stuck your head out.
Okay. Well, you gotta have one last little tickle here. Okay, there you go.
The source of all good dog bones. Well. I went to the gym yesterday and walked 4 miles. I woke up this morning, I thought I'd been hit by a truck. I'll see you later. Thank
Bye,
you.
Missy. Well, it looks like it's gonna cloud over there, doesn't it? I better get out and go to McDonald's and transplant for coffee like I was talking about. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay, now. Is this going to be a repeat of yesterday? I don't know, what do we got here? It's the rush hour, basic rush hour is over. I think I better go check the radar. Yeah, I don't want to start working here and then a couple of hours from now, when I'm ready to go out on the bike, it's starting to rain, so this is going to be a really bad summer. Okay, quite a bit of time has passed here. I did go to McDonald's for coffee. Anyway, what I did do though is I took my knife and I went down the edges several passes to try and deepen the cut, I guess you'd call it. And I realized it didn't seem to really be getting anywhere. I might have only gone about a third of the way down. My fingers were starting to ache. So then I thought, I wonder if I could nibble it away. You know, like with a nibbling tool, which I have often thought I'd like to have, but don't. So yeah, this seems to actually be working. If you remember earlier this morning, I had started to cut it like this, and then I quit. But I was thinking that maybe what I could do is I can go like this and just nibble it away. Just work my way up to this cut right here, and then it should just break loose. At least that's the plan. Now I think I'll just do a little bit at a time here. I hope I'm holding this, you can see it. I might have to aim the camera up just a little bit. Please bear with me here. Yeah, that might work better. Yeah, then I can hold it up a little bit better. Okay, now if I go like that, yeah, I think that this should work. Let's just try it here and break this out. I know maybe I'm getting a little bit careless here, aren't I? Now be careful of this ladder. Now all of this is on the inside, I think. Now this should break clean because it's already scored right here. Now let's see what happens. Maybe I didn't go deep enough with this cut here. I think I did though. There we go. Yeah. Alright, now maybe I'll just go in at a bit of an angle like this. Okay, now then this piece here, I think it would break off in the right place. Yeah, because I scored it there. Okay, now what I'll do after I get this part out is I'll take Eric's sanding stick here and just sort of clean it up. But I'm going to do that off camera. Gee, I just realized I was getting awful close to the lens. I hope I wasn't out of focus there. Let's just give this a bit of a whirl here as long as I got the camera running. I do have it running, don't I? It will go in at an angle here. Okay, yeah, we should be able to clean that up, and when it's viewed from, I believe, this side, well, it broke out there a little bit, but once we touch this up with the, was it number 82 or something? I can't remember. Anyway, it should clean up fairly nicely. That's the plan. I haven't done any repainting yet, and this part here is not down all the way, but it'll give us an idea of what the opening is supposed to be here. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be good. Then when we look in from this side, we'll be able to see in. Now, I think it was probably about, 3, 4, 5 months ago when we originally made this piece right here that I'm just removing. And it seems to me that I did it in such a way that we can get it to go all the way down in, the tongues will go all the way down into the slots. Although, mind you, now pulling it apart, I want to be careful I don't break it because it is fairly fragile in some of these joints here. At least it doesn't seem to have any photo etch sticking out of it. So, okay, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, well, there's a dozen slots just in this front piece. I thought there was probably a dozen altogether, but there's obviously a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm starting to get at here is that when I was trying to enlarge the slots for this piece here, they weren't going as good as I thought they would. I thought I'd be able to use Chris's file and just go up and down in there and enlarge them. I ended up modifying the tongues. I'm wondering now if maybe that wouldn't be the easiest way to go. Yeah, we can get that to go all the way down. But what can I use to clamp this? Some sort of a vise so that I can just really put a lot of force on these without accidentally breaking something else off, like that ladder, for instance. Okay, I was entertaining the idea of using something like this. Down in my workshop, I have a rotary file that goes into an electric drill that goes a little slower. And I was thinking, well, maybe I could use a small drill bit in the Dremel tool. The feet per minute, or what do you want to call it, would be a lot slower because of the small diameter. This might not melt the plastic. This would have melted the plastic. It wouldn't have worked. Okay, now we're going to want to be careful we don't break these parts off. Paravanes. Okay, now got to hold this here, and okay, this is going to turn in this direction. That means it's going to want to have a tendency to pull this way. Let's just see how this is going to work here. It might be better if I was to mount this in something, and then just sort of work this back and forth. That might actually be a little better than trying to hold it by hand like this. Yeah, I'm just going to mount this so that it's going to be flat on the table here. Okay, now I don't think we need to take it down on both sides. In other words, the side that is on the outside of the wall, we don't need to take that down and accidentally maybe mark up the side here. So we'll just take down on the inside where nobody's going to see, and I think as long as I don't try to get too aggressive here, this should work. Now it may not. We may have a disaster here. That's why I'm using this part here. It doesn't have any fragile. Oh, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. What was I doing here? I got 2 phone calls in a row. Both of them were regarding this heart problem I've got. The genetics. One was to do genetic testing, and the other was that special medication that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. Now let's see if we can do this now here. That was stupid. I pushed the instead of turning the Dremel on, I turned the camera off. How can you tell I'm not thinking about what I'm doing here? Well, like I said, I'm not thinking about what I'm doing, and I almost got a catch there. Yeah, this is going to work. I think that I can probably get most of the tongues in place here. I don't think we need to do another one, unless you want me to put the macro lens on. We look nice and close, but I don't think so. I think you probably saw it pretty good there. Yeah, now this will now fit into the slot really well, and the width of the slot won't matter if it's a little bit narrow. So I'm a little bit uptight right now. Yeah. Okay. So that's supposed to be a smartphone. We'll see how smart it is. Hey Google, will the weather be conducive for getting out on my motorcycle in Winnipeg tomorrow?
In Winnipeg, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 22 and a low of 13.
Doesn't say anything about rain. I thought it was going to rain this afternoon. It almost looks like it might have, and yet I don't have any raindrops on my car. So I think it's just the case of it's just so humid that the road never really completely dried up from when it did rain last night. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits here for today. I have done no editing. Not Missy the dog, nothing. So I better get at it here. Yeah, I kept getting sidetracked with stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.